message. Save that long, lengthy, PhD level text message breaking down exactly how somebody hurt you, what they did wrong, how you feel, analogies. Save it. And that includes even your closure text message after the fact of how they're gonna miss you, they're gonna regret losing you, they ain't gonna never find another you. You really love to save it. When you get to that point where you texting a man, and fellas, this goes vice versa because we'll do the exact same thing, but I know a lot of y'all are women listening. But when you get to that point where you sitting here trying to take on this professor role to educate somebody on something that they've proven over and over and over again, they don't want to learn about how to love you correctly and how to secure you in a relationship, more than likely, that person's misunderstanding you on purpose. They're committed to misunderstanding you. They're committed to their misperception. And at this point, they have a preference for playing in your face, for neglecting you, whatever it is that they're doing wrong. When you get to, I'll have women ask all the time, D, should I send this message after he's done this, and this? Or asking me to help them structure that last message, that last Hail Mary to get this person to act right and to help them learn what it is that they're doing wrong. And I always say, look, man, if you just need to do this to exhaust all options because you sunk that low, where you know that you're speaking to deaf ears, but you need to speak anyway, so you don't have any more ideas of what you could have done to save the relationship, go ahead and do it. Go ahead, just tap all the way out, because sometimes you got to hit that rock bottom in order to get up. Okay, cool, don't do it. But there's nothing you're going to say to a person who doesn't have the right heart posture to listen to what you're saying that's going to change anything. And what I mean by the heart posture, like before you talk to anybody, you got to know, are you even in position to hear what I'm saying? Are you in position to receive what I'm saying? Do you even care enough to hear what I'm saying, to make any changes? Otherwise, if that person doesn't have the right heart posture to hear what you're saying, you're wasting your time. You're devaluing your words. You're wasting your energy. You're teaching them that they can continue wasting your time because they're giving you clear indicators. A person knows whenever they're giving an indication that they care or not. But I'll give you a couple of examples. Like you know a person does not have the right heart posture if he keeps on rebutting everything that you say before he even has time to process. There's no effort to process what you just told him. You're letting him know, this is something I feel like violates a boundary. This right here is something that makes me feel uncomfortable. This is what I need more of from you. And he always got some type of rebuttal. He ain't even taking in what you're saying. That man does not have the right heart posture to even hear what you're saying. Writing it in a letter, putting it in a text message, putting it in a voice note, 20-minute voice is not going to change anything. When a man truly cares, when a man has the right heart posture, and again, fellas, it goes vice versa, but when a person has the right heart posture to hear what you're saying, what you're letting them know is valuable enough to them to sit with, not to put their feelings in immediately, not to put whatever type of resistance they have immediately, but to sit with for a second, to ask more questions about, to express curiosity about. But you know what happens when a person really ain't got the posture to listen? They really don't even care about you at this point. But you know what happens? You say whatever, they want you to exhaust. They want you to get frustrated to where you just stop talking. Because they stopped listening a long time ago. They just ain't got the balls to stand on that they done listening. Another way that you know a person doesn't have the correct heart posture to hear what you're saying, so you might as well save that 4-page long text message, letter, or whatever, explaining things that they already know, is if in the absence of the right action to love you correctly, there's inaction. If in the absence of the right action, meaning they're not doing the right thing to love you, you see that they're not doing anything, all you're doing by putting all your energy and effort into that long text message or voice note or phone call, 2-hour conversation that you want to have, all you're doing is trying to direct a parked car. I'm going to tell you something, ladies, as a man, whenever a man really cares about you, he may not know the proper way to love you. He may not. Honestly, there are a lot of guys who have love to give, but they don't know how to love you specifically per what it is that you need. But what you're going to see is a man who's trying. He's going to be assertive. He's going to be putting himself out there. He's going to be doing the wrong thing and trying to love you. He may be speaking the wrong love language, but he's going to be saying something because he really does care. So it's worth his energy. He dignifies your emotional needs with effort. Effort equates to interest. But what you see from a man that doesn't really care anything about you, if you're not sitting there crying and telling him and crying a river and everything else, explaining to him, you see him just sitting back chilling. And he already knows that you're improperly loved. He already knows you're dissatisfied. He already knows that you're withering away. And I'm talking about in a serious relationship to the dating or whatever. He already knows what it is that you need. And he'll sit back and let you stay in that state until you're the one that comes forth and starts begging for what you need from him. And then put it on you and your lack of telling him or communication with him that he's so frustrated, he just can't handle everything. No, BS. That man does not even have the posture to love you correctly or hear what you're saying on how to love you correctly. And it's pointless to keep going. And honestly, if I'm keeping it real with y'all, whenever you get to that point where you texting, you got this 10-page or repetitive text messages, DMs, whatever, you're protesting that man's preference to play in your face. You're protesting and you can't protest nobody's preference. Only thing a man will be accountable to is not losing what it is he values. So if he prefers you, what you bring to the table, how you come in a relationship or dating situation is his preference, is what he wants, is what he finds value in. If he truly values that, he will be accountable to what it takes to ensure that not only do you stay in this life, but you stay in the right state mentally and emotionally. He will be accountable to that. So as you're speaking to him, it's going to be, I'm willing to tighten up. I'm willing to be better because I don't want to lose this person, or I don't want this person that I care about to hurt like they hurting. But when a man don't care nothing about you, when he feels like he can replace you, when he already got his eyes on the next thing, the next seemingly glittering gold out there, when he already done jumped ship mentally and emotionally, but he just continuing to engage sexually, and you sitting there talking to him about how to protect you emotionally, when he don't even care about you on that level, that man's not going to be accountable. You don't have any kind of ground to even speak from. What you're going to get is the type of energy like, well, if you don't like it, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know why you're here. That's what you're going to get. If it's so bad, then why are you still here? Put I down in the chat. Ladies, there's no shame here. If you've ever been in a relationship where that guy got to a point of being so comfortable disrespecting you, he said something along the lines of, well, I mean, if it's so bad for you, why are you still here? Put I down in the chat. It'll bring you to one of the lowest places that you can feel, knowing that this person that you love damn near hates you, to be able to speak like that to you, as you're simply giving them instruction and direction and guidance on how to love you better. But again, you cannot protest anybody's preference. There's no governing body that's going to exact justice on your behalf when a person switches up on you, changes up on you, reveals them true selves to you. And that's where the practicality of self-love comes from. Not to get cliche, because it's really not. The self-love says, in the absence of your love, it won't equate to an absence of love for me. In the absence of your love, and that could be your mama, sister, your coworker, or your boyfriend, or fellas, your girl, your husband, your wife, it don't matter. In the absence of you loving me, I will not be absent of love, period. And whenever you do that, I'm talking about an action form. When you love yourself, you're going to feel the grief of being disappointed in somebody, but it's not going to crush you to the point where you can't move forward and still believe that somebody can deliver on what it is that you require in a relationship. And when you don't have that crushing fear or that fear of being damaged so badly by this person, of accepting that this person just really don't rock with you like they used to, or that you thought they did to begin with, you don't subject yourself to whatever it is. You don't subject yourself to a lesser love. You don't subject yourself to a lower standard of respect in a relationship, because you have that self-love. That's your rock bottom, is your self-love. I'm going to feel this hurt, but I'm going to love me back into restoration, and I'm going to keep it moving. And some people have a hard time accepting that, there's no governing body to go and protest and say, make this right. This person fooled me, or this person changed up on me. Those people are the ones that you see trying to get revenge. Those are the people that you see never moving on. Those are the people that you see talking bad about them to try to even the score, so to speak. Meanwhile, the people who are actually healed, they go from one disappointment to the next disappointment, and they keep going until they get it right, or until somebody gets it right and loving them and keeping them. That's the whole practicality of self-love. And funny enough, I know a lot of y'all are like, well, these men. It's not a good women being overlooked thing. Good people get overlooked. Good people get played with. I hear stories from men all the time. I actually get more men that stop me in real life and tell me their story than guys online. I think because, it's just a little bit of shame there, so they want like that more privacy. But I hear guys all the time who were presumably good, by the way, who had good intentions at some point, let me know that they got played with by a woman. Because a lot of women out here are so used to the games that when a man comes straight forward and is very clear and direct, they're like, something must be wrong with this. I got to go back to what I'm familiar to. And a lot of these great guys, evolved men, are also getting overlooked. Soon as they come direct, these like, I'm gonna be real with you, a lot of great guys, evolved men, not just good, because we don't want to talk about just good. They're not coming across the women who are also done playing the games as well. And so this is why I'm not a big proponent of even good anyway. It's like, no, like the thing that I see a lot of y'all missing when it comes to meeting that evolved man or being met by that evolved man, and again, this is coming from evolved man, is that you don't know how to stand out to an evolved man and make him crave you. And I talked about this in the free masterclass, but I'm gonna tell y'all one right here. One way that you can stand out to an evolved man, if you're tired of getting to the point with these guys where you feel like you're schooling them on how to love you and they don't really even want to show up to class, they tardy or just absentee altogether. One way is whenever you present your standards and you present what it is that you need, you couple that with what you're willing to do to support that man in meeting your need. I talked about this on the masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. Even though the masterclass is free, I'm giving y'all one right here. But this is one of the things I'm talking about, because a lot of women only know how to compete with other women. They don't know how to actually appeal, and I'm talking about from an authentic place, to truly attract that evolved man that's different from the men that they've been attracting. But one thing an evolved man is looking for is that perspective on how you're going to support him in meeting your needs. Because every man knows in order to love a woman, she has to allow herself to be loved. Most evolved men have come with a love for a woman that she wasn't ready to receive. This is why it's different to attract evolved men. Their experiences have been, hey, I came with support. I came with, when you needed me, I dropped everything and I flew out to you to make sure that you had a safe space to vent or to rub your feet or to help around the house or whatever. Men have come with this type of love for women. I hear the stories all the time. And those women did not know how to receive it. So one thing that you can do to stand out to an evolved man is not only tell what it is that you need from him, but tell him how you're going to support him in meeting that need as a way of receiving his love. As he meets your need, that's the love that he's giving you, right? One way of receiving that love is to support him in giving you that. If you need a man that's going to speak life to you, speak to the queen in you, what you're going to do is create safe space, non-judgmental spaces for him to speak. You're going to give him your undivided attention. That's what I mean. I go in depth on the masterclass, so I'm not going to do all of that here. If you want the full list of how to make evolved men crave you, click the link that you see pinned right down here in the comments, also in the caption whenever you back out. I went in depth for over an hour. It's really simple, really. I just broke it down to make it super simple and plain, even more so that you could apply this and get results in the first 24 hours like the thousands of other women who watch this free masterclass. Again, the link is pinned right here. Go ahead and register before it comes down, by the way, because I don't know when you're seeing this. But back to what I was saying. You cannot protest a person's preference. You can't make them want what they don't want. You can't make them appreciate what they don't appreciate. You can't make them put forth effort where they don't even see the connection that they have with you as worthy of that effort. You just cannot do it. And it doesn't make that person wrong, honestly. But you do have to protect yourself. And the best protection is the self-love that's going to be there with or without another person to love you. So that the worst that you can do is being properly loved by you. That's the absolute worst that you can do. And if they can't add to that, if they can't upgrade you from that, they're not worth being in your life to begin with. So save that 4-page letter text message. Save that long conversation, all them bullet points you got stored up in your notes. Save all of that for somebody who sees the connection that they have with you as worthy of actually applying what it is that you have to say. Because if that's the case, you likely ain't even gonna get to the point where you got to do all of that explaining. But those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet big brother trying to look out. If you got anything of value from this, share it right now for somebody else in your timeline. And if you're in the market for an evolved man, a truly evolved man, click the link where I went in on how to attract those types of men so you can choose the right one for you. It's down here in the comments pinned by my page. It's also in the caption or description whenever you back out. It'll link you to a free masterclass where you jump straight over to more content like this, but a whole lot better because I really went in on their slides and everything. Click that link. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be good.